So I recently bought a Bible. Really like this Bible. It's got like soft leather. It's like $20 on Amazon or something like that. Probably not even that. I think it's like $15. Really dig this Bible here. Pretty stoked about it. But I just bought it like a couple weeks ago. And honestly, reading the Bible has been incredible because a lot of it is just lessons that you read, and like I've always been a personal development junkie, and it's a lot of the same principles that come from personal development books are in the Bible. It's it's crazy. And so I mean there's a stigma against religion and God, but really if you're in pursuit of living the best life that you can, the most joyful life, the good life, it just makes practical sense to read the Bible. God wants us to have a beautiful life. God wants us to live in abundance. There's nothing here about God wanting us to live poorly. Really like to live the best life that you can. You you should live your life for something. Sacrifice your life for something, No, give your life to something. Those are the people that are fulfilled when they have a mission, when they have a purpose. What is your purpose, right? Um, and so those are just thoughts from somebody that doesn't know anything about anything. But I wanted to read this one thing, which I thought was epic. It's in the book of Matthew, um, chapter 25, verse 29. And it's, I think this applies to everything in our lives, and it just really stood out to me. So I'm going to share it here with you. And it says, "For everyone who has more shall be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who does not have, even what he does have shall be taken away." That's crazy. So you're telling me that you're going to take away more from the people that already don't have a lot? And you're going to give more to the people that do have. Huh, that's interesting. Huh. So rich get richer, poor get poor, right? Type of thing. Um, but if you really think about what he's saying is, if you're a great friend and you have a lot of friends, then you're bound to easily continue to make more friends, more relationships, more love in your life. But let's say you're not a great friend and you have one friend that's there, gives you a second chance, another chance. But if you're not a good friend, you don't reciprocate, eventually you're going to lose that friend and you're not going to make any friends. Nobody's going to want to be your friend. And so even what you do have will be taken away. And same thing goes for money. Like if you don't if you live in fear, you don't invest your money, you don't make it work for you, you don't start that business, you kind of just save it into a bank account and just hope it just grows. I mean, like inflation, just think about inflation. Inflation just takes your money without you even realizing that it does. And so even what you do have will be taken away. It's crazy how it applies here. But if you're somebody that invests your money, takes risks, and you lend it, and you invest it, you buy a home, you flip it, right? You actually do things with your money, then you will have more in abundance, right? And so it's crazy that what this is saying here, it's actually saying like go take risks. Like you won't grow without actually taking a risk. Which is nuts that it's in the Bible. It's actually biblical. And it's true. Like, you literally cannot meet a single fulfilled person, somebody that has built something, somebody that has a thriving life that didn't take some sort of risk. And that's ultimately what life is about. Like taking risks, taking bets on yourself so that you can actually live the life that you want. And like another thing here that this is saying is like you have to make hard choices. You have to make hard choices so you can have the easy life. Because if you make the easy choices, then you're gonna get the hard life. Things are gonna be taken away from you if you make the easy choices. That's what this means. And basically, all this comes from a a story, a parable that Jesus was saying, and basically, I'll paraphrase it here for you. So, he was talking about a slave master, somebody that had land, and so he was going away, and he entrusts three of his slaves, and so to one of his slaves, he says, "Here is 5 talents. Go and do what you may with these 5 talents." Um, and then that slave goes out and duplicates them. He makes more out of what his master gave him. And then the second slave, he gives him 3 talents, and he says, and then when the master comes back, that slave duplicated again. He made 6 talents. But then there's the third slave that he only got 1 talent from his master. And when the master comes back, he says, I didn't do anything with my talents. I just buried this one and kept it safe to make sure that nothing would happen to it. So when the master came back and he heard about this, he took the talent away and sent that slave off into the darkness, banished him. And that's basically what it's saying. It's like you did nothing. You did nothing with what I gave you. You just buried it and kept it safe. And it's crazy. Like he's like, but his master answered and said, "You worthless, lazy slave! Did you not know that I reap where I did not sow and gather where I did not scatter seed? Then you ought to have then you ought to have put my money in the bank, and on my arrival I would have received interest on my money. Therefore, take the talent away from him and give him to the one who has the 10 talents." And so, if you don't do everything that you can with everything that you currently have, then what you have will be taken away from you and will be given to somebody else who will actually do something with it. And I mean, I think about like your girlfriend, like a girlfriend, right? You have a girl and you take it for granted, and you don't, sweet talk her. Yeah, you don't do the little things. You don't bring flowers to her. You don't surprise her. You don't take her out on dates. You don't do the little things, right? And I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? But there's gonna be a dude out there that's gonna sweet talk her when she's at work or when she's at the gym or something. Say, hey, my boyfriend doesn't sweet talk me anymore. Man, oh man, he's talking really sweet to me, right? And and that's how your girl gets taken, bro. That's how your girl gets taken, and it's biblical. What you do have will be taken away. And so you have to water your grass. The grass is greener where you water it. Take care of what you currently have. And I mean, this has happened to me uh, many times with my girl. We've been together for 6 years now, and dude, sweet talker. I mean, like it's crazy. Like my girlfriend literally when we were going through a rockier period, I mean, she was hanging out with this like really famous DJ, and I mean, to me, for me able to compete against a guy like that, it just wasn't gonna. I had no chance, right? And so he was literally gonna fly her out to Vegas to come to one of his shows and stay in his suites and his penthouse, and it really really hurt, and it's like guys out there want love. Guys out there will use their resources to wow a woman, wow a girl, but then when they have her, they don't continue to do that. And that's when you lose them. And that's how I almost lost my girl. But I started showing up in a better way. I started showing up, doing the little things. And that's really what girls care about, just doing the little things, showing up, them feeling seen, saying, you kiss her, and then you look her in the eyes and you say, "You're so pretty." Bro, That's all you need, man. That's all you need to do. And so this video can be a little bit shorter, and I just finished reading the book of Matthew, and it's just like unbelievable wisdom from Jesus, how much he taught in there. And it's just something, there's something for everybody there. And so I highly recommend you go read the book of Matthew in the Bible. If that's the only book you read, I recommend you go read it. And because there's going to be some nuggets in there that you're going to be able to take away. And the cool thing is that the Bible's not like, it's not a how-to book. It's more of like, it's more of a book showing you where to look. And it's up to you to perceive and see what you should see based on where you are right now in life. And for me, this is what resonated. Like, there's things that I take for granted. There's relationships that I take for granted, and there's opportunities that I take for granted. And it's really about being very thoughtful and intentional to use the things that are there in front of you that have value, because the last thing that you would want is to lose them. And that happens to so many people. They lose opportunities because they just don't nourish them. They don't take care of them. They don't allow them to grow. And so that's food for thought for today. The book of Matthew. I'm going to keep reading this thing. I'm really enjoying it. Um, and I'll pull out nuggets from the Bible or from other books that I'm reading. So, wish you peace and love, my friend, and I'll see you on the next one. All right?